As we get centered for this morning's fabulous message, I invite you to close your eyes and just get comfortable. If you allow yourself to do that. And as we take that deep breath in, feel the coolness over our nose, nostril, and down into the lungs. It's amazing that we can do this without thought. And as you breathe in comfortably at your own natural pace, go ahead and feel the back of your thighs that are supported by that wonderful invention, the chair. And as you keep breathing, with your eyes closed, feel the air on your skin, on your face. If there are thoughts that enter into the magnificent thing called our mind, let them in, and then let them out. For right here, right now, we are connecting, centering, plugging in. Whatever you're comfortable connecting with, go ahead and do that. Relax your neck, relax your shoulders. And at this point, I invite you to just open your heart, open your ears, and open your mind to saying yes, whatever floats by with the phenomenal message and words that will be and that are revealed going forward. Go ahead, wiggle your toes. You can finally feel the heels on the ground. And knowing together this is perfect. It's whole. And it is complete. Breathing in again and breathing out. And come back to this space. When you are ready.
Thank you so much, Jane. I didn't want to come back to the space. No, I'm just kidding. Good morning, loves. It was so beautiful. I love this space more than any other space. Yeah, usually, sure, yeah. We have some new congregationals for you by one of my favorite writers, Ricky Byers. Use me, oh God, I stand for you, and here I'll abide as you show me all that I must do. I used to think God was the sun, God is the sun, but God's so much more than the earth or the stars or all of creation. God is creator, all in all, and leading us, yes, to shine its light as me, as you, so use me. Oh God, I stand for you, and here I'll abide as you show me all that I must do. Yeah. Command my life, what must they do? Command my life, it's here for you. God is the love that heals all creation. God is creator, he makes all things new. God needs us, yes, to shine its light as me and as you. So use me. Oh God, I stand for you, and here I'll abide as you show me all that I must do. Show me all that I must do. Show me all that I must do. It's got to show me. You are the face of God. I hold you in my heart. You are a part of me. You are the face of God. You are the face of God. Yes. I hold you in my heart, and I will always. You are my family. You are the face of God. You are my family. You are the face of God.
So, my God, I'm so grateful today So very grateful to know that there is just this one awesome, loving God that is present in and through all that is in and through each and every one of us, that is the light and the love and the peace and the joy, all the good that is. It is this right here, right now. I know that there's absolutely no place where this divine is not. It is my ideas. It fills my thoughts. It lives in my heart. It is who I am. I am its means of expression in this world. And so in every way and every day I open that which I am to this awesome, loving power. Use me, O God. Use me to do your work in this world. And so as I stand here recognizing that who I am, I know that this truth that I have spoken is not only for myself, it is for each and every person in this space. Each one here has God wrapped all around them, has God filling each cell, each tissue, all parts of our body. This God is who we are. I know that this God is love. And as love, it is fully present in and through. And there is nothing greater than the love of the divine. It expresses its love through each one of us. And it knows no fear. God and fear are two separate entities that do not coordinate. I am so grateful to know that there is no such thing as fear in God, because God is love. And love chases away all the fear. So when I am feeling uncomfortable, fearful, I turn to this power and this presence, and I allow it to take over and be that which I am. And so I'm grateful today, grateful to know that love is all there is and everywhere present. I am grateful today for this service. I am grateful for the ministers and all the work that they do. They deliver the love and the energy and the light and the peace to this center, lifting it up, holding it up in God's light so that each one of us is blessed just by the fact that we walk into this space. And so thank you, God, for the music. It is always perfect. It is always in line with whatever the message is. It always moves our hearts and our minds. It energizes us. I thank you, God, for the technology, the audio people, those that bring this service into the homes, and those that make the sound so that we are all heard. All it can be heard all over the world. So thank you, my God, for all that is done here, all that the volunteers do, the way in which this place is loved and cared for. Those that contribute, all tithing, energy, work, maintenance, everything that goes on here is a God-ordained operation. So thank you, God, for your blessings. I'm so grateful to know that today we hear what we need to hear. And I know that as we hear what we need to hear, we are moved to be greater and better and all that we can be right here and right now. I thank you, God, for your presence. I thank you for this service. I am grateful. And from this place of gratitude and with absolute faith in the power and the presence of God in my word, I release it. I let it go to that law, knowing here and now that the truth has been spoken, and it is so. And so it is. Amen. 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 Thank you, God, for your blessings.
Thank you, God, for Daisy. Daisy was one of those folks she was speaking about. She does so much here. Love you, Daisy. You know, Ricky Byers wrote and still writes so many tremendous songs. This is another one. Please sing along. There was a time in my life I thought I had to do it all by myself, but I didn't know the grace of God was sufficient, didn't know the love of God was at hand. Yes, but now I can say, if you are worried, you're struggling, just to make it through one more day, well, you've got to let it go, let it all go, yeah. And this is what you have to say. I release and I let go. I let the Spirit run my life. And my heart is open wide. Yes, I'm only here for God. No more struggle, no more strife. With my faith I see the light. I am free in the Spirit. Yes, I'm only here for God. You know it. I release, woo, and I let go. I let the Spirit run my life, and my heart is open wide. Yes, I'm only here for God. Oh, no more struggle, no more strife. With my faith I see the light, 'cause I am free in the Spirit. Yes, I'm only here for God. Give it to me. I release. Come on. And I let go. I let the Spirit run my life, and my heart is open wide. Yes, I'm only here for God. Oh, no more struggle, no more strife. With my faith I see the light. I am free in the Spirit. Yes, I'm only here for God. Yeah, I release, woo, and I let go. I let the Spirit run my life, and my heart is open so wide. Yes, I'm only here for God. Oh, no more struggle, no more strife. With my faith I see the light. Here we go. I am free in the Spirit. Yes, I'm only here for God. Here we go. I am free in the Spirit. Yes, I'm only here for God. Oh, I am free. Right here, I'm free in the Spirit. Yes, Spirit of peace. Yes, I'm only here for God. Sing it with me. For God. Yeah. Woo.
Patty Powers and Dave, yes. Wow. You think Patty's having a lot of soul? Wait till Ricky comes.
Yeah, that's right.
All right.
That's right.
While you're standing, if it's comfortable for you, please say with me, God bless America and the rest of the world. Please be seated. As we are seated, I just want a moment of silence and just recognize that love is more powerful than the love of power. And that peace reigns supreme, no matter what it looks like. Thank you. Thank you. Nobody's free till we're all free, right? All right. Thank you so much for being here. Yay. 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 I know Stacy and I look like we have these t-shirts that says I am Black History.
Yes.
And I'm American history as well.
Yes.
So, because they're the same to me. Well, in fact. Anyone here for the first time? Oh, hi. How'd you hear about us? Good morning. What's your name? Lila. Thank you for being here. I think the ushers have a gift for you. And a few more? Hi. How'd you hear about us? Where? Who? Hi. You looked this up?
I go to a religious science church in Denver.
In Denver, all right. Thank you. I might have talked to you on Friday. Yes, or Thursday. One day. Hi, how'd you hear about us? You're not here for we're someone else. They love to point people out they don't recognize. Oh, Gail, the gentleman next to you.
I got this box, so I must be here for the first time.
No, not necessarily. Sometimes people come and they don't want to be there and hide.
They just come for the box.
Did you hear about us through Gail?
Yes.
Well, all right. Thank you, Gail. What's your name?
Nelson.
Nelson. I love that name. That's an awesome name. Thank you. Thank you for being here. I see faces. I even see virtual faces, even though, they probably don't believe me. I'm on my phone at my seat. I see faces that I haven't seen in a while. I'm so grateful to see you, my love, as Reverend Judy Ann. Awesome. So good to see you. And looking well. And beautiful. Awesome, awesome, awesome. I get excited when I see people I only see online for the last 2 years, for God's sake. I know, isn't it exciting? We just always like to let everyone know that you're always welcomed here. And that no matter where you are on your spiritual path, that'll be the case. Enjoy the service today. Actually, we have since it's still Black History Month, we have one more video to show. And I know some of you have seen it, but we're going to show it again. Thank you.
Thanks, Rev.
Here's a little-known Black history science of mind fact. Meet Sarah Flowers, a prolific African-American writer of science of mind books in the 1940s. Flowers was a writer, publisher, metaphysician, frequent speaker, and teacher of the science of mind. She took the major course at the Institute of Religious Science in Los Angeles in 1937 and wrote her first book, Common Sense and Its Application in Everyday Life, in 1941. Other books followed, including The Metaphysical Thesaurus and Metaphysical Dictionary, Should I Pay for Metaphysical Treatment, and Atomic Metaphysics, The Electrical Principle of Man. In Atomic Metaphysics, she writes, in metaphysics, we must then recognize that there is a power that revolves in and around, out and beyond us, at a rate equal to the atomic energy in our material beings. But it's important to note what Sarah Flowers considered her most important work: teaching practitioners metaphysical treatment for all of the problems that confront us today. You might think Science of Mind's inclusive teachings of oneness would be immune to America's history of racial segregation, but that was not the case. Dr. J. Arthur Twine founded Eastside Church of Religious Science in his home in 1932. The congregation quickly grew and became the third church to be ordained and chartered by Ernest Holmes, the founder of religious science. It was a thriving multiracial church, but in 1945, Third Church of Religious Science, as it was now called, was moved to the bottom of the church listings in Science of Mind magazine and noted as a colored church. Ernest Holmes found this unacceptable and went to speak to church members. He said, "I have been told that too many non-Caucasians attend these lectures. True, there are Caucasians and non-Caucasians in this congregation, but this we must affirm. We are all children of one living God, one God that permeates all without exception, one intelligence that governs all, and most important, every man and woman who abides in the universe is a significant entity in the one universal consciousness. Our doors will forever be open to all. Whoever you are, be proud. You are a divine idea in the mind of God." The magazine staff immediately corrected this error and returned to listing churches alphabetically. The following year, Dr. Twine made his transition, but the church remains strong today as Third Church Center for Spiritual Living. A number of Dr. Twine's descendants became practitioners, lay leaders, and ministers, including his great-granddaughter, Reverend Stacy Hilton, who currently serves as co-spiritual director of the Las Vegas Center for Spiritual Living. Dr. J. Arthur Twine and Sarah Flowers, Black evolutionaries in Science of Mind.
It was incredible. I love that. Oh, Sarah Flowers, beautiful lady. That is some American history that I don't know where we would be without it. That's right. There is this beautiful song by a beautiful woman who has been gone now for 10 years. Thank you for, I didn't even know that when we spoke about that, Reverend Stacy. I forgot. She was my favorite. This song is called I Look to You. As I lay me down, heaven hear me now. I'm lost without a cause, after giving it my all. Winter storms have come and darkened my sun. After all my strength is gone, you I can be strong. I look to you. I look to you. And when the melodies are gone, and you I hear a song, I look to you. After losing my breath, there's no more fighting left, sinking to rise no more, searching for that open door, and every road that I've taken has led me to regret, and I don't know if I'm gonna make it. Nothing to I need you to shine on me. I look to you. I look to you. When all my strength is gone, you I can be strong. I look to you. Melodies are gone. You are your song. I look to you. I look to you. I look to you. Thank you. Oh, that's all with me. Thank you so much. I love you. Thank you. Beautifully done, Patty. Beautifully done. Ah,
That was a rough one. I heard Whitney, I said no.
I heard Whitney as you sang. I heard Whitney.
Thank you.
Yeah. And of course, you know that those of us that practice New Thought, we know that there's no looking outside. You don't have to look outside for yourself. There is no you. It's all within here. It's all within here. If God be with me, then who can stand against me? If Spirit be with me, who can stand against me? If the divine be with me, who can stand against me? If infinite intelligence be with me, who can stand against me? If love be with me, then who can stand against me? You all know the answer to that question, I'm trusting. Each of us has the power and presence within each of us. Each of us is love, is peace, is joy, is divine, is spirit in action, here to be the divine expression that we are all meant to be. And we each all have a unique gift and talent to spread more love, more joy, more life itself. That's what we're here to do. That's our call, that's our challenge. Yeah. We're called. Anybody answer? We're going to talk about some challenging things that we're going through in a few minutes. I want to go back to my great-grandfather for a moment. And I was like, we're playing that again? And not that I am not proud. It's just, we're playing that again. And yet I know how important that is. And I want to read this, and I've never read this out loud before. Some of what the newspaper said. Caden, I think you can put that up. Reverend Twine dies of heart attack. The Rev J Arthur Twine, pastor of the Institute of Religious Science at 4814 South Avalon Boulevard, died suddenly of a heart attack Sunday evening as he awaited a bus at the corner of Washington Boulevard and Western Avenue. Funeral services will be held from the People's Funeral Home Thursday, today at 10 a.m. with Dr. Frederick Bales of the Institute of Religious Science officiating. The body will be cremated at Rosedale. The minister, a native St. Louis man, had lived in Los Angeles for 17 years, having come here from Chicago, where he was well known for his work in churches, which stressed community service. He was 59 years of age. At the time of his death, he had begun work on a campaign for organizing groups throughout the country to press for enforcement of the United States Code, which includes a law against offending the elective franchise and civil rights. Already 2 church groups, one in Glendale and one in Los Angeles, have drafted resolutions
and letters to push the movement. John Boehner, news commentator, and provided the Reverend, sorry, this is really small, provided the Reverend Twine the full text of the law so that persons interested could intelligently demand of their congressional and senatorial representatives the removal of Bilbo on grounds of his admitted Klan membership. On the afternoon of his death, the Reverend Mr. Twine had been a guest at a wedding reception at the Villa Arlington and was returning to the reception to bring a news item about the above campaign to the business. A deputy from the coroner's office informed his family of his death at approximately 10 p.m. in their home at 1932 South Hobart Boulevard. Surviving him are his widow, Miss Janie Dixon Twine, whom he married in Kansas City 38 years ago. His daughter, Miss Lavinia Hilton, that's my grandmother. Son-in-law, Wallace Hilton, my grandfather. A grandson, Arthur Hilton, my father, and 2 brothers. It goes on. I say that, I read that, and we have on these, I am Black history, because we are. Judeans, these people of color, we all are Black history. You people that identify as Caucasian or Latinx, you are Caucasian history. You are Latinx history. You are Filipino history, Filipino-American history. There's something that really is awe-inspiring about that idea. What if we lived into that idea each and every day? What if I was that expression, knowing that whatever I say, however I be, however I choose to walk in life, will be known for all the years after I leave this plane? Would I walk differently? Would I speak differently? Would I live from a place of love differently? If the answer is yes, then perhaps you want to switch that around. Because each of us is history. We each have a legacy that we're here to leave. We get to choose it. We get to choose it. Miss Patty, I know what yours is. Dave.
To be goofy.
Amongst other things. Miss Judy Ann, I know what yours is. Miss Kitty, Miss Cheryl, Miss Wanda, Miss Franny. Most of you in this room, I can see what that is. Maybe you can't. Maybe you need a little bit of help. I'll be your mirror. I'll be your mirror, because you are certainly mine. You are certainly mine. Kate, will you put up the slides, please? Yeah. You know, my great-great-grandfather died when I was, before my father, well, my father was 2 years old. So there was not conversation, because I think my grandmother was probably devastated, because she was the daddy's girl, much like I am. Both, but you know, don't tell my mom when she comes next month to see the virus. But that there's something that sits in subjective memory, the law of mind, that apparently was passed on, right? Wouldn't you say, if I'm staying here as a minister who has a passion for community outreach and for treating people equally, which apparently, according to the article, says my great-grandfather did as well. And I haven't seen a whole lot of that from my father's side of the family. And as I said, never discussed. What seeds are we planting for the future? What seeds are we planting for those loved ones that are with us? Our grandkids, our kids, our grandkids, our great-grandkids. Because the seeds, you don't know where they will sprout up and occur. That if we're planting love, we're going to get love. We might not see it, might not be in our lifetime. It's okay, plant it anyway. It's what the world needs. We're talking about love and fear. Love and fear. It's the same thing. Two uses of the same law. Second slide, Katie. With God on my side, who can stand against me? I started off by saying that. I'll get back to that. Next slide, please. Fear. Actually, we're not going to talk about fear just yet. We're going to talk about love again. What is love? What is love? It's kind of one of those hard ones to describe, isn't it? I know the feeling and what it feels like. See what Dr. Holmes says, what love describes as love in the glossary, page 608. I probably have marked it. So why am I having trouble here? All right. Love is the self-givingness of the Spirit through the desire of life to express itself in terms of creation. Emerson tells us that love is a synonym for God. We are told in the New Testament that he that loveth not knoweth not God, for God is love. Love is free from condemnation, even as it is free from fear. Love is a cosmic force whose sweep is irresistible. That's love. And we're made from that. We're not made from fear. It is not our natural state of being. That's why it's so uncomfortable. We're made from love. We're made from light. We're made from peace. We're made from joy. We're made from abundance. Those are the things, and we feel very comfortable with those things for a reason, because that's where we come from. And yet we make our lives so difficult because we're rubbing up against this thing that we've created, which is the same use of the same thing, because we create it by our feelings. I'm feeling a little bit uncomfortable about what's going on in the world right now. And so I am fearful. I'm not standing in the place of knowingness of who I am. So I feel fearful. And yet and still, God is walking with me every step of the way. I just have turned away from God, but God hasn't left me at all. God never leaves. It is the one thing that is changeless. And yet we continue to forget that. And when I say we, I'm speaking to myself. Please know that. I'm not preaching at you. I just want us to remember right here and right now, because it is really important right now that we don't go off the rails with this fear thing. We know truth. And so if it's only up to this few amount of people we have in this room, we've got to decide that we're going to live from that truth. It's really important, people, right now. If it never was before, it is now. Because there is a lot going on. And I know we just got through this huge speed bump. And yet we're still here. The thing that I'm most proud about my people, we're all my people, but I'll speak about black people right now, is the resilience that we have. It is the love that we show to a country that has not always shown us love. But that does not mean that we don't love it with all our hearts. If you think about it, we have nowhere else to go. We built this place from the ground up. We love it. We only want it to succeed. We want our equal rights, and if they don't come, we're going to find a way to make it work anyway. That's what we've been doing since we've been here. We are creative people. We make things out of nothing. It's what we've come from. I love that about us. I love that. You know, if you watch Quincy Jones, when he speaks about Dave will knows this, how many musical notes? 12. How many songs are there from those 12 notes? What's the first form? The only form of real, true American music is jazz. I love that. I love that. But there's an amount of pride in that for me. There's a mental equivalent for me that says that if my people and the people that I have come from, and I come from all of you, so I'm not saying it that way, so don't even bring it back to me. Not even listen to that. And come up with a form of music that has transformed the world, then I can get up here and do a little silly talk. I can do a really good talk too. I'm just saying. But since that is my truth and I'm a little colored girl or a little black girl from wherever, from LA, it's all of our truth. We all have that mental equivalent. We see it, we feel it, we breathe it, we are it. We are it. Love is the fear buster. It is as close as your next breath. It is a decision that you make every breath. And I say that as I listened to MSNBC and I made myself live in from that place. And I just breathed through it. And I thought about God. Each and every breath as I watched and listened and heard the goings on of what's happening right here and right now in this world. Fear. You know, when I first started going back to Agape, way back before coming to this center, false evidence appearing real. And I thought that was really cool. Not so much anymore. Face everything and run. That really doesn't resonate with me. Been there, done that. Didn't work out so well because it caught up with me. Runs faster than I do. And then after taking classes here at this center, what resonated with me is the negative use of the law. Because if I can remember when I'm fearful that I'm using the same law, that I can make my life whatever I want it to be, then I can switch it around in my head and move forward. Fear, the antithesis, easy for me to say, antithesis of faith. It is the negation of trust. Like faith, fear can be conscious or unconscious. And it is to be eliminated. And if it is to be eliminated, it must be eliminated from both the conscious mind and the subjective mind. Sometimes I'm not afraid, I'm not afraid, I'm not afraid. But in here, I'm speaking of the science of mind teaching symbol. That law of mind, that which operates through me, as me, that which I speak into, that if I plant watermelon seeds, I get a watermelon. That law, you all know it. You make use of it just like I do. That law, if I'm not aware of that, then I'm not doing anything, right? That feeling of fear must be eliminated from our subjective mind, our subconscious mind. It's not always as easy as I think it should be. And yet it is really, really easy. Really easy. Who did it here on Friday night? Is that a drum circle? There's so many ways that we can go about releasing that idea and coming back to center, if you will, with our thoughts. And going back to knowing who we truly are. Because when we come in on Sunday mornings, we're not normally fumbling around thinking about it. We know what we're here for. We're open and receptive to it. We take it, we go, and we come back next Sunday. Somehow, Monday, Tuesday, Wednesday, Sunday afternoon, things get feeling a little some kind of way about something or other. We're going to do a little exercise and see if we can clear that up in a minute here. But it's our work. You can't let it go. You can't let it slide. You got to catch it when it's there. Because it builds on itself. It builds on itself, and then you're in a pickle before you know it. Before you can even probably dial the phone to call myself or Reverend Cheryl or a practitioner. You're already down that road. It's easier to prevent it. Easier to prevent it. Next slide, please. Faith is an attitude of mind that is so convinced of its own idea that it accepts it so completely that any contradiction is inconceivable and impossible. That's pretty powerful stuff there. Realizing that it's the same power, whether you use it for good or use it in another way. It's powerful stuff. Before we can create such a mental attitude, there must be nothing in our subjective mind that contradicts our objective affirmation. Fear, the negative use of faith. Next slide, please. Nothing in life should be feared, only understood. Now is the time to understand more, to fear less. You know, the theme this year is wonder, wonder everywhere. Mm-hmm. And we always encourage you to wonder about things, to be curious, and we try to provide you with a bunch of different things so that you can just be curious about things, and you have a little bit of tidbit of information, and if you like it, you run with it and you explore more about it. Yeah, and you know, we're only here once a week, so you might want to do some of that on your own too. It's really important. It's really important. I want to talk about how we let go of fear. As I mentioned, you know, in that drum circle on Friday night, there were 25 of us. Only, I don't know, 6 or 7 or 10 from the center, and the rest were, I don't know where they came from. Doesn't matter. I was happy to see them. And we drummed our little hearts out. Yeah. And there's just a feeling of connection, of community. And we set an intention prior to drumming, which you would do in any spiritual practice, right? You know, as opposed to thinking of it, oh, it's silly, it's hippie-ish, or whatever we think about some of those things. I know I kind of do sometimes. Those things that are out of the norm, out of my box. The idea of setting the intention with the intention to be whatever it is that I'm looking for to experience. And really at the end, not even at the end of that time together, that hour and a half, about 15 minutes in, I'm already feeling that I have achieved that which I have set about to achieve. Pretty powerful stuff. We also can do it with affirmations. Fear is one of those things. I am love, I am peace, I am joy. It's one of those easy ones to use an affirmation with. Of course, spiritual mind treatment. But you gotta know what you're praying about first, right? Sometimes we don't know why we're feeling like we're feeling, right? We don't know why we're feeling fearful. We don't know why we're in doubt. We don't know why we're feeling not enough. We don't know why we're feeling less than. So I'm gonna ask you to let's do an exercise right here, right now. Just, if you will, take a breath and close your eyes or lower your eyes if it is comfortable for you. Just relax. Let whatever is going on that is on your mind and heart to be wherever it is. You can come back to it at any time, I promise you. Bring to mind anything that you are fearful about. I want you to shine a light on it, just like the light is focused on, the spotlight is on my face right here and right now. I want you to shine a light on it right now. Allow that feeling to be with you right here and right now. Perhaps it's the end of the pandemic. Maybe you're a little fearful about what that looks like. Maybe you think it's too soon. Perhaps it's the Russia invasion. I'm sure that's on a lot of our hearts and minds right now. Maybe it's the seeming division of this country, that feeling of division, that idea of racism that still goes on in this country. Maybe it's the healthcare system in this country, which seems to need some Band-Aids, some splints. If you have kids or grandkids or know any kids, the school system, our government, our politicians, this whole thing of inflation, which is making us a little bit, well, money looks a little bit differently. I won't say it's this or that, but maybe money looks differently. This idea of gas prices and energy prices that are making your bank account maybe look a little differently than you had planned. The environmental stuff that we have shifting. Perhaps it's a health condition. Perhaps it's a relationship issue. Maybe there's just a block in your flow of money. Bring them to mind. Put a light on them. And just breathe. Boom!
Did you just say boo?
Did they jump at you? Did they get you? You're still here?
I'm still here. We're with you. You're adorable.
You're fearful of them, but they didn't get you. No. They didn't get you. They didn't get you. They're conditions. They're conditions created by us, by collective consciousness, by sometimes that which is greater than I am, that knows that once I get through this condition, there is something better that's coming through this. I don't know where it's coming from necessarily. I don't need to necessarily know where it's coming from. I don't know why it's here necessarily. I can work that out later and look at that later. But what I know is I am not afraid of anything because Spirit is with me. Say that. Spirit is with me.
Spirit is with me.
God's got you.
God's got me.
Always. 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 Stop giving all the power to the condition. Because the condition can always change. The only thing that does not change is spirit. Focus on spirit, and you don't have to focus on anything else. I'm not saying don't realize that there's a condition. You know, I watch these kids, they're walking down the street, they're texting, and then they fall in a hole. Look and see that there's a hole there, people. Watch what you're doing. That's your job. Realize that conditions are here. What conditions am I creating? What conditions am I creating in my life right here and right now that I do not want to see? Perhaps it's bad health. Perhaps it's lack of money. Perhaps it's relationship issues with people. I don't know what it is, but there's a whole bunch of stuff that we create. There's a whole bunch that is created by us, the collective we. Go back to that place where the condition is. Sorry, I scared you with the boo. Just Feel that condition melt in your mind. Like if you had ice in your hand, the warmth of your touch is going to allow the ice to melt. Let the condition melt away into the nothingness from which it came. That's where it belongs. Allow that. And then I want you to say thank you to it. It brought you a new awareness that you didn't know before. Maybe it's the same similar condition. The similar condition will come back again if you don't let it address it, let it move forth, shine, and then you do your work and pray it away. The conditions that we're seeing in the United States are the same conditions because we don't take the action because we get comfortable with them. Oh, I thought that was gone. Well, no, it's not gone. You stop paying attention to it. You stop focusing on it. And you didn't ask anybody that knew better. Say thank you to the condition or conditions. Say, I'm done with you and thank you. So that brief meditation is nothing special or magical. I did at the booth, so you know. You can use that if you like, but you don't have to. That was supposed to be funny, y'all.
I love it.
But use the tools that you have. You all know that Spirit, God, divine intelligence is good, and it is love. Turn to it. If you have to turn to it 1,000,000 times in a day, then turn to it. But don't fall into the craziness with all the crazies. And I don't mean that, I don't mean any, it's not the appropriate word. I apologize for that. Hurt people hurt people. Heal people heal people. Be the healing arm that this consciousness needs at this time. It's who each of us is. And now's the time to rise to that. Because if we don't, I don't know what it might look like and how we're going to keep, reeling ourselves out of these messes that we're in. We have to do our work. We have to do our work. There's an old Cherokee man that told his grandson that there's something that happens inside of all people. One is evil, it is anger, it is envy, it's jealous, it's sad, it's regretful, it's greedy, it's arrogant, it's self-pity, it's guilt, it's resentment, it's inferior, it feels inferior, it lies, it has false pride, it feels superior, and has lots and lots of ego. The other is good. It's joy and peace and love and kindness and humility and compassion and self-compassion and faith and truth. And the grandson asked his grandpa, well, which side do you feed? Oh, sorry, I just told you the end. Which one wins? The side you feed. The side you feed. I know we don't practice that where we're feeding that here necessarily. But we go get in that car, we're listening to whatever we're listening to, and sometimes we're feeding it, aren't we? Or we get home and we're watching TV, or we're talking to our loved ones that are maybe not of this faith, or maybe have no faith right now. I think there's a lot of that going on. And we buy in. If there was a time, if your life depended on it, it does. Realize that it does right now. This is kind of that make or break kind of time. And it's not just one thing. That's the thing that's amazing about this opportunity for us as a nation, as a planet. This could be that make or break time. I don't mean, that we're gonna go anywhere. But things are kind of uncomfortable. They've been kind of uncomfortable for a little bit of time, have they not? How much more chaos do we want to go through? Not much more, is my thought. Not much more as far as the collective goes. We will continue to create our own stuff for our own awareness so that we can grow and move and evolve to that which we need to grow and move and evolve. But there's some things that I think if we don't shift as the collective, that might look really a lot differently if we don't do something now. I'm going to finish by reading from Meditations of the Heart by Howard Thurman. It says, if thou standeth beside me, nothing can prevail against me. If thou standeth beside me. There are times when the sense of aloneness is very acute. Often these are the times of struggle where the odds are uneven. Curious indeed is it that the sense of not being alone is apt to be most acutely felt when the concentration upon the matter at hand is absorbing. This means that there is available at the moment no margin of me exposed to the presence of God. To be aware that God is standing beside me calls for some measure of detachment from my own personal struggle and turmoil. If thou standeth beside me, it is entirely possible that the presence of God may be most acutely felt in and through the struggle and the turmoil. It is not something apart from me. It is not something apart from my involvements, but a quality of presence that emerges from the midst of my tempest. Or more accurately, it becomes a quality of the tempest itself. Sometimes this identification becomes very confusing, causing me to say that God brings the struggle. It is sufficient for me to know that God is found in the midst of all that befalls me. Nothing can prevail against me. The affirmation is the result of the disclosure of the presence of God in the midst of what befalls me. First, God is felt as being with, in, and among the struggling elements of my experience. Then out of the midst of these, God's presence emerges and becomes one who stands by my side. It is then that I am lifted up and strengthened. If thou standest beside me, nothing can prevail against me. I know that these are confusing and chaotic and not the most fun times on some level. And I'm knowing that we got this because we have the love. We carry the light. We are the peace and the joy that we are looking for. And I know that God, Spirit, the divine, always stands with each of us. And if you forget that, you call me, and I'll tell you about yourself. And so it is.
So it is.
So now I can call you at like any time, or I mean, but is that
Just
what
because I
you?
don't answer doesn't mean anything.
Okay, is that okay? So if it goes straight to voicemail, do I know then maybe it's not a good time? No, it's always a good time to call you. Gosh, she is incredible. Can we give her one more round of this? Woo! I don't fear. I have no fear. And you know what helps? Not watching the news. I know that's just not doable. But I don't have that fear, but I do pray for peace. I do pray for peace, that is for sure. Did you ever hear of a man named Reverend Al Green?
Yeah. Oh, yeah.
It's one of my favorites. This was one of his big hits.
together, loving you forever, yeah, is all I need. Let me be the one you come running to. Yes, girl. I want to spend my life with you. Oh, let's stay together, loving you whether times are good or bad, happy and sad. Ooh, yeah. Oh, yeah. Come on, baby. Ooh, all right. And on times are good or bad, happy and sad. Ooh, yeah. Since we've been together, loving you forever is all I need. Let me be the one you come run to. I'll never be untrue. I want you to solo, I do. Oh, let's stay together. Whew. Loving you whether times are good or bad, happy or sad. Come on, baby. Woo. This is his song. Let me see, let's my husband stay together, loving you whether times are good or bad, happy or sad. Let's stay together, whether times are good, yeah, or bad. Oh, whether times are good or bad, happy or sad, good or bad. I'm happy, not sad, good and bad, happy and sad. I'm not sad, I'm loving you. Let's stay together. Well, thank you. Oh, David. Thank you, David. Oh, David. It's all Reverend Al Green.
Right. Thank you.
So,
Thank you, Dave. Thank you, Patty.
thank you.
This is what we call our opportunity for giving and receiving. And we appreciate if you would say our affirmation with us that's on the screen. From the love of pure spirit within me, I bless this gift. I send it forth to heal and bless and prosper. It is evidence of my faith and belief. It does good work in the world and returns to me multiplied abundantly. And I know as our ushers go around the room, I know that each and every gift and each and every tithe is not only a blessing to this center, but it's a blessing to the person that offers that gift. Because that's how it works. That's how it works. I'm loving and believing and just knowing this truth, that flows to each and every person here. I know that there's no fear and there is no lack. There's only abundance and love. And so it is.
And so it is.
Thank you.
Come on, sing with me. I do believe I will receive. I just have to know and then declare it to be so with an open mind. Just a little bit of time. If it serves my highest good, then it will be mine. Yes, it will. You know why? Because it means I do believe, yes, that I will receive. I just have to know and then declare it to be so with an open mind. And just a little bit of time. If it serves my highest good, then it is mine. Anything I want, it is mine. Perfect health, yes, it is mine. Oh, joy and peace, it is mine. Give me all the love, 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 love. It is mine. If it serves my highest good, then it is mine.
I love that.
I test the mic. For the announcements today, for any prayer support, just send your prayer request to prayer@LasVegasCSL.org or text 702-524-7096. The Healing Words Book Club is now reading a book called All About Love by Bell Hooks. And they meet the last Wednesday of the month, which is the 30th this month, at 4 p.m. And if you're interested in joining in the group, all you need to do is just let Reverend Stacy know. It's going to be on Zoom, and you'll just call her at 702-524-7096 and to get the book and get all information on it. And Lunch with the Revs is this Wednesday at noon, so we can all have lunch with the Revs on Zoom. And just, again, call the office at 702-255-6412 if you need help with the link to be sent to you if you're new to this. The newest class that we're doing is going to be starting this coming Saturday at 10:30 in the morning. And Reverend Stacy and Reverend Cheryl will be teaching the class. It's called Change Your Thinking, Change Your Life, which...
That sounds so familiar to me.
It's very familiar, yes. So you need to sign up for this class at the happenings table back there, and the price is just $139, and it is a 5-week class. The Heart of Peace meditation is going to be a week from Wednesday on the 9th, from 6 p.m. to 7 p.m. And boy, we could sure use all of you tuning in and joining us here in person if you can, because Reverend, I always want to say Reverend Aldo, it just never fails. Aldo is going to be, practitioner Aldo will be facilitating this wonderful service from 6 to 7, and our fabulous Karen Jones does this healing bowl ceremony. And if you come in person, it's just adds to the energy and just makes it so much better. But certainly if you can't make it, tune in on Facebook. We all need this Heart of Peace today more than ever. Reverend Cheryl is going to do a 40 Days to Total Prosperity workshop every morning starting this coming Wednesday on Ash Wednesday from 7:30 to 8 in the morning. I hope we don't have to turn our videos on.
Are we zooming? Does that mean
We're zooming,
But
but I hope that's not going to be a requirement. Anyway.
I hope you're dressed.
Well, that's what I'm saying. I'm not dressed at 7:30 in the morning, sorry.
Well, then you're excused.
I'm excused, okay, good. But it is going to be wonderful, and we're going to be looking at the book, using the book, John Randolph Price's book, The Magic of Tithing, and it's only a $7 book, and it's not a requirement. If you don't have the book, you don't have to get it. It's great if you can. But that's going to be every single day. It's a 40-day challenge to total prosperity. We're also having a welcome class for new members and old members if you'd like to join. Again, this will be on Zoom, And it's on March 19th, Saturday at 1:30 p.m. And if you'd like to join in on that Zoom class, just call our office or to register for the link for that new membership meeting. And speaking of membership meetings and welcoming classes, we have our annual membership meeting on the 20th of this month, immediately following service. So please mark that on your calendar so you can be here to be a part of all that. It's also important to hear what we've done in this last year. And remember to look for us when you go shopping on Amazon, because you go to Amazon Smile, smile.amazon.com, and we get a percentage when you do that. And our bookstore is open today with lots of goodies and jewelry and, well, naturally books, but the books against the window are all 60% off. So, and don't forget, remember to don't forget to watch us on Facebook, and Instagram, and then subscribe to our YouTube channel. And have a fabulous brand new March week coming up.
Yes, you're right.
Yeah, Kitty. It's so cute, Mom. Yeah. Kitty's so cute.
I don't know. I'm not a songwriter.
Thank you so much. I would like to ask our Ministry of Prayer team to actually surround the room. Any visiting ministers or practitioners are invited to come to the front of the room as well. Awesome, awesome, awesome. They are here to pray with or for you. There's a prayer box on the side. It's called God's Pocket, if you want to leave a prayer request also. Geez. It's a grand day, and I feel good. And Reverend Stacy, would you like to?
Yeah, I would like to ask us to, for all of those visiting minister and the Ministry of Prayer team, we could just do a chamber of prayer today.
Absolutely.
Yeah, in honor of, well, not in honor, but for all that is going on. So let's just begin.
I know that there is only one
I'm recognizing that it's only one God, and His power, one presence, one absolute love of the universe, unifying with love and so much more. I'm realizing that Spirit is all where is and each and every one in harmony with this word is part of that which I speak. The love, the light, the faith, the energy, the perfection, the wisdom, and the peace. Bringing forth that very real new world. World of peace, world of love, world of inclusion, world of prosperity, new levels of living and being, celebrating the truth that is being revealed right now. The highest source God, the innermost God, is one people. That which sent us, that which empowers us, that which heals us, that which uplifts us. And I'm so grateful to know that this is so. Through the light of mind, perfect divine action. This is so. And I release this word into a law of mind and action, knowing that the truth has been revealed in new and wondrous ways, and all have been healed. And so it is, and so I let it be. Amen.
Doesn't that feel good? That feels really good. Woo! All right. I do want to also remind everyone that there are tickets on sale in our bookstore for what we're calling the Revival of Heart and Soul with Ricky Byers.
Oh,
It's on Saturday afternoon, 2 o'clock in the afternoon here at the center. And it's going to be 2 hours of a lot of love and a lot of fun. And the tickets will sell out really fast. So just to let you know, they are $44. And it is a fundraiser for what we have formed as we are calling it Las Vegas New Thought Collective. So we love to start things. So, all right. And I'm looking forward to each and every one of us participating and having a good time. All right. Thank you so much. I know. All right. First, I would like, if you don't mind standing, and you do not have to hold the person. I don't think we had any children, did we? No. Okay. If you don't want to, if you're comfortable holding each other's hands, fine. If not, fine. We have lots of hand sanitizer, believe me. But we're going to sing our peace song.
Yay!
So please stand.
There is peace on earth, and now it begins with me. Yes, there is peace on earth, a peace that was meant to be. With God as our power, loved ones all are we. Now we walk with each other in perfect harmony. Yes, peace begins with me. Let this be the moment now. With every breath I take, let this be my joyous vow. To take each moment and live each moment in peace eternally. Yes, there is peace on earth, and now it begins. Yes, with me.
All right. Repeat after me. Something wonderful is happening to me right now.
Something wonderful is happening to me right now.
I know this in my mind.
I know this in my mind.
I feel it throughout my entire body.
I feel it throughout my entire body.
And so it is.
And so it
Have a great week.
Who feels like dancing? I feel like dancing.
Oh, yeah. Can't hear it, but it's good. Yes. Woo. I could use a little louder. Woo. Yeah. You got a cute way of talking. You got the better of me. Just snap your fingers and I'll